That afternoon was supposed to be peaceful. Just family. Tea. Snacks. Light conversation. Nothing special. Nothing dramatic. At least, that's what I thought. My daughter, Emma, sat quietly on the sofa, doing her homework. 15 years old. Shy. Kind. The kind of child who apologized even when others bumped into her. She never caused trouble. Never talked back. Never lied. She was my pride. My sister-in-law, Karen, had come over with her husband, my brother. She walked in like she owned the place. High heels. Loud voice. Fake smile. Always judging. Always comparing. Always making small comments about my life. My parenting. My money. My failures. I ignored her. Like I always did. For peace. For family. For my daughter. We sat around the table. Drinking tea. Talking about nothing. Weather. Work. Neighbors. Then suddenly, Karen stood up. Her chair scraped loudly against the floor. She looked at Emma. Eyes sharp. Voice trembling. "You little thief," she screamed. The room froze. Everyone stared. "What did you just say?" I asked, confused. She pointed her finger at my daughter. "Don't pretend." She stole my diamond bracelet. My heart skipped. "What?" I whispered. Emma looked up. Pale. Shocked. "Aunt Karen." "I didn't," she began. "Liar." Karen shouted. "I saw you near my bag." My brother stood up too. "Karen, calm down," he said. "Let's talk." "No," she snapped. "I'm calling the police." She pulled out her phone. My hands started shaking. "Karen, stop," I begged. "She would never do that." "You're just protecting her," she replied coldly. "She's always been jealous." "Jealous? Of what?" "Of her expensive bags. Her flashy life." My daughter barely asked for anything. Emma started crying. "I didn't take anything, Mom," she whispered. "I swear." I hugged her tightly. "I know, baby," I said. "I know." But Karen was already dialing. "Yes, officer," she said loudly. "My niece stole my jewelry. I want her arrested." Every word felt like a knife. Neighbors peeked through windows. People started whispering outside. My mother-in-law covered her mouth. "Oh my God," she murmured. My father-in-law looked away. No one defended us. No one said, "Wait." No one said, "Let's check first." They all believed her. Just like that. Because she was rich. Because she was loud. Because she was confident. Because we were quiet. Emma clutched my arm. "Mom, I'm scared," she cried. "It's okay," I whispered. "I'm here." Inside, I was terrified. What if they believed her? What if my daughter got a record? What if her future was ruined? Because of a lie? Karen crossed her arms. Smiling slightly. Satisfied. "I warned you," she said. "Raise your child better." That's when something inside me snapped. "You don't get to talk about my child like that," I said firmly. She laughed. "We'll see what the police say." Minutes later, sirens echoed in the distance. Blue and red lights flashed outside our window. Emma started shaking. I held her close. My heart pounding. My mind racing. I knew my daughter was innocent. I would bet my life on it. But innocence doesn't always win. Not against money. Not against power. Not against lies. As the officers walked toward our door, I noticed something. Something small. Something everyone else had missed. Something near Karen's handbag. On the corner of the sofa. A tiny sparkle. And in that moment, I realized. This story was far from over. The doorbell rang. 3 sharp knocks. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. I took a deep breath and opened the door. 2 officers stood outside. Calm. Professional. "Good afternoon," one said. "We received a theft report." Karen rushed forward. "Yes. Finally," she said dramatically. "It was my niece. She stole my bracelet." She held up her empty wrist. Worth $50,000, she added loudly. The officers looked at Emma. Small. Shaking. Tears on her cheeks. One of them softened immediately. Miss, can you tell us what happened? He asked gently. Emma swallowed. I was doing homework, she whispered. I never touched her bag. Karen rolled her eyes. Of course she'd say that. I stepped forward. My daughter is telling the truth, I said firmly. And we haven't even searched the house yet. The officer nodded. That's what we're here for, he replied. They began checking the living room. Cushions. Tables. Shelves. Karen watched closely. Too closely. Following every move. Controlling the scene. I remembered the sparkle I had seen earlier. Near her handbag. On the sofa. While the officers searched, I quietly walked closer. There. Half hidden between two cushions. A thin silver chain. With a tiny diamond clasp. My heart raced. I pointed. Officer, what's that? I asked. One of them leaned down. Pulled it out. It was the bracelet. Karen froze. What? How did that get there? She stammered. Her face lost color. That's impossible. The officer raised an eyebrow. You said it was stolen, he said. So why is it here? Karen's voice shook. She must have hidden it, she insisted. Before you came. Emma looked up. Eyes wide. I never touched it, she cried. The second officer checked the bracelet. No fingerprints. No bag. No pocket. Just lying there. Plain sight. Then he asked calmly. May we see your handbag? Karen hesitated. Why? She snapped. Routine, he replied. Reluctantly, she handed it over. Inside, they found a small velvet pouch. Empty. With her initials. The same kind used for jewelry. The officer looked at her. Why is this empty? He asked. Silence. Sweat formed on her forehead. I don't know, she whispered. My brother finally spoke. Karen. What did you do? She turned on him. Don't you dare, she yelled. But her voice was breaking. Then the younger officer checked something on his tablet. There's security footage from your front gate camera, he said. Shall we review it? Karen's knees nearly buckled. We watched on my phone. The video showed her earlier that afternoon. Sitting on the sofa. Pretending to adjust her shoe. Quickly slipping the bracelet out. Placing it between cushions. Then later. Accusing Emma. Setting the trap. The room went silent. Dead silent. My daughter stared at the screen. Confused. Hurt. Betrayed. Why? She whispered. Karen collapsed onto the chair. I just wanted to teach her a lesson, she cried. She's always favored. Everyone loves her. Favored. Emma had nothing but kindness. One officer sighed. Filing a false police report is serious, he said. He turned to me. Do you want to press charges? I looked at my trembling daughter. Then at Karen. Then at my brother. And I knew. The hardest decision was still ahead. The room felt heavy. Like all the air had been sucked out. Everyone waited for my answer. The officers looked at me. My brother looked desperate. Karen looked broken. And my daughter. She looked exhausted. Small. Tired of being strong. I knelt in front of Emma. Held her hands. Baby, I asked softly. What do you want? She sniffed. I just want her to stop, she whispered. I don't want anyone to lie about me again. I stood up. Looked at the officers. We won't press charges, I said calmly. But this ends today. Karen's head snapped up. Hope flickered in her eyes. I raised my hand. Listen, I continued. She is never allowed near my daughter again. No visits. No calls. No messages. If you ever spread lies about her again, I won't hesitate next time. The officers nodded. Understood, one said. They warned Karen formally. Documented everything. Left. The door closed. Silence followed. My brother spoke quietly. I'm so sorry, he said. I looked at him. You should have protected her, I replied. That was your job. He lowered his head. Karen tried to speak. I stopped her. No excuses, I said. You chose jealousy over family. She cried. I didn't comfort her. Some wounds don't deserve bandages. That night, I tucked Emma into bed. She held my hand. Mom, she said. Thank you for believing me. Always, I replied. Without question. From that day on, our home changed. Stronger boundaries. Less fake smiles. More peace. More honesty. More love. I learned something important. Protecting your child is never rude. It's necessary. And Emma learned. Her voice matters. Her truth matters. She matters. And that is a lesson no one can ever take from her. White right pointing backhand index. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and support our channel for more powerful stories.